Good afternoon, I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Welcome to Camnet TV Media News. The headlines. ECZ registers over 2.7 million voters and maintains that it will not extend the voter registration exercise. A KALINGALINGA man who assaulted Anglican priest to appear in court on Monday for plea. Details coming through after this commercial.
Hello, have you heard about Msika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Msika is here. Advertise on Msika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact
+260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467.
Msika, allowing your business to grow.
And now the media news in detail. Lusaka Magistrate Judith Chiaika has set 30th November 2020 for plea in a case where a 62-year-old man of Lusaka's KALINGALINGA compound is accused of assaulting an Anglican priest. Renard Mwale has been charged with 1 count of assault, occasioning actual bodily harm contrary to the laws of Zambia. Details coming through after this report.
A peaceful Sunday service it was, not until unexplainable drama arose in the middle of nowhere when one of the church members used his karate techniques on his priest, leaving him with swollen lips, according to the police spokesperson. In the video going around social media, the man in black is 62-year-old Renard Mwale of KALINGALINGA compound. Just after this incident, Mwale, a machine operator, ran away and only handed himself to the police the following day. 5 days after, Mwale, the now accused, has been dragged to court for alleged assault charge. Particulars of the offense in the matter allege that on the 22nd of November 2020 in Lusaka, Mwale assaulted Boniface Baleni, thereby occasioning actual bodily harm. And when the matter came before Magistrate Judith Chiaika for plea, she adjourned it as the accused was not before court. According to the allegations in this matter, it is alleged that Baleni on the said date was delivering a sermon when Mwale walked to the pulpit and ordered him to stop the preaching as the church was supposed to conduct elections for their leaders. But the complainant ignored Mwale's order, prompting the accused to drag him from the pulpit and punched him in the face. Mwale is expected to take his plea on Monday, the 30th of November 2020. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
In other news, Chief Electoral Officer Patrick Shindano has disclosed that after the 12th of December 2020, the system on the voter registration kits will automatically close and no one will be able to register as a voter. Speaking during a media briefing to update the nation on the voter registration exercise, which is in the 3rd phase, Mr. Shindano disclosed that a total of over 2.7 million voters have so far been registered against the target of 9 million voters. The Commission has, however, disclosed that it has no intention to extend the current voter registration exercise scheduled to end on the 12th of December this year. Meanwhile, the Commission has announced that it will begin the registration of prisoners immediately the exercise comes to an end on the 12th of December 2020.
Despite so many calls from different stakeholders in the voters' registration exercise, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, insists of having no intentions to extend the exercise. Chief Electoral Officer Patrick Shindano, however, disclosed that the Commission may reconsider to extend the exercise after the 12th of December 2020 if it observed that the 9 million target is not met.
To extend the voter registration exercise. That decision can only be considered once we are done with the voter registration exercise. As it stands, there is no intention on the part of the Commission to extend the voter registration exercise. It's important to note that as a Commission, we are continuously reviewing the numbers as they come in, and we would advise the nation indeed after the exercise has been concluded, that is 12th December 2020. We are confident that the statistics are going to improve. As you have noted, second phase, we've had almost a 44% jump. In the third phase, we actually expect an exponential increase and even a higher increase in the fourth phase.
The process, which has seen some challenges during the first and second phase of the voters' registration exercise, the Commission has, however, assured the nation of addressing the challenges encountered during the process. And over 2.7 million voters have been registered in the first and second phase. Mr. Shindano disclosed this during a media briefing of the third phase this morning.
We have observed the challenges that are on the ground, and we are going to do the needful. And this is why we even led the recruitment of additional staff to be able to provide that service. I did indicate that every registration officer now is being supported by a laminator, and in certain instances we've provided for additional registration officers and indeed additional laminators. Which brings me to the total number of registration officers in terms of the question. Currently, the addition that we have recruited is 1,100 to beef up. This is comprised of both laminators and registration officers. For those that are doing additional, both in terms of the shifts, to manage the different shifts, because one cannot work throughout, there was an outcry.
Meanwhile, prison voters registration exercise is expected to commence after the completion of the current phase. Come 12 December 2020, the system on the voters' registration kits will automatically shut, the Commission has disclosed.
Prisons voting, we did put out an announcement that prisons registration, voter registration, not voting, prisons voter registration will be conducted in the last phase of the exercise.
Only 15 days is left to register the remaining 6.3 million voters. Miriam Kemba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Vice President Inongawina has discouraged members of parliament against ferrying people to national registration centres to enable them get NRCs. Speaking in parliament Friday morning, the vice president explained that this is putting pressure on officers issuing NRCs. Mrs. Wina also explained that the move is against the health guidelines put in place in combating the novel coronavirus pandemic. The vice president further tells the nation that the Ministry of Home Affairs is considering a budget to enable officers to go back in the field to issue NRCs to those who were left out on the exercise. Meanwhile, Mrs. Wina says ECZ will only consider extending the voter registration exercise if it fails to register the 9 million voters when the exercise comes to an end on the 12th of December 2020.
Your Honor, the Vice President, it is an indisputable fact that ECZ this time around has failed actually the people of Zambia to perform their duties in terms of voter registration. Yeah. I have a fact, and many of them actually in my constituency in Mofombwe. One of the failures, or some of the failures, are that sometimes the people that are conducting the registration, they line out of ink. And also the gadgets that they are using, they will reach a certain stage where they would fail them and they would need actually to be reactivated. Are you considering to increase the number of registration days from the 30 days, maybe even to 60 days? Thank you, Honorable Mr. Speaker.
As to the extension of time, will observe how the registration goes, and ECZ believes that it will reach the required numbers before the end of the exercise. And at the end of the exercise, an analysis will be made, an assessment will be done as to whether there's need to increase the number of days or not.
Mr. Speaker, rigging is a process but not an event. And the numbers don't lie. This is a clear indication, Mr. Speaker, a PF through the Ministry of Home Affairs is already in the process of rigging the 2021 general elections, looking at how the people of Lusaka province, Southern province, Western province were denied of their NRCs during the mobile NRC issuance.
Registration office is considering to go back to register those that may have missed out during the mobile issuance of NRCs. So the ministry is doing an assessment currently of where the need is and what the cost will be. When the money is secured, the registration team will go back to those areas. And in view of the above, I am discouraging members of parliament from ferrying people to NRC registration centers. And this will put undue pressure on the officers.
Well, that news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, the headlines once again. ECZ registers over 2.7 million voters and maintains that it will not extend the voter registration exercise. KALINGALINGA man who assaulted Anglican priest to appear in court on Monday for plea. Thank you for joining me. I am Precious Nzeya Sakaleji. Good afternoon.